It's been a minute. You kind of always hear this, don't you? I mean, I'd be sick of it if I were you guys. So today we're going to be installing more storage in this 2019 Mac Pro. I just got this a little bit a while ago, and I'm really excited about this computer, but it comes with like no space inside at all. This is the base configuration with a little bit of extra RAM, and it's only got 256 gigs worth of storage, which is a complete joke. So in comes the Pegasus J2i. So this is basically SATA hard drive enclosure. In addition to giving you an 8 terabyte hard drive, this will also give you an extra slot so you can put another drive in there. As far as unboxing, that was kind of it. There's not much in here. It's got some quick instructions, some foam, and then right here we have our hard drive. So we get our anti-static out of the way. And so yeah, so what we have here is, it's basically an aluminum enclosure that is gonna have let's see if it can focus on this, but it's gonna have a 3.5 inch, 8 terabyte hard drive in here. It's a hard disk drive. It's not a solid state drive like what comes with the Mac Pro. And then over here, we also have another spot for a second 3.5 inch hard disk drive. Now my plan for this is to add a 2.5 inch solid state drive up here. Haven't found online if anybody can do this or not, but I ordered a sled, and at some point in the very near future, I'm gonna order a drive and have to try to add that upgrade as well. But today, all we have is this guy here, and we got our installation guides, which are pretty straightforward. And then in here we have our cables. These are proprietary cables. I've seen some other places where you can buy cables and things like that. But so these are like proprietary designs though, allegedly. Or in the sense that you can't just go buy these, I guess. So on one end, we have 2 SATA connectors, and on the other end, we have 2 motherboard SATA connectors, and then also a power connector here. So this end will go into the motherboard of the Mac Pro, and then this end will go into the back of the hard drive or hard drives if you're using both of them. Now, a big question everybody has here is the fact that, like, can I just buy this metal piece without buying the hard drive? And as of right now, the answer is no. You have to buy it with this 8 terabyte hard drive. And no, you can't buy it with a bigger hard drive, which I would have gladly preferred to have a 12 or 14 terabyte hard drive. But for some reason, whoever runs Pegasus decided that instead of sending me a $100 piece of aluminum with 4 screws, they would instead sell me a $390 or something piece of aluminum with a hard drive. It's whatever. And as many people have said, if you're willing to buy a computer as overpriced as the 2019 Mac Pro, why not buy an overpriced hard drive to go with it? So without further ado, let's try to get this going. Wow, this computer's huge. So like anything with the Mac Pro, you have to unplug all of your I/O out of the back, meaning your power cord, Ethernet, all of those things. That's a safety feature. You gotta unplug everything if you're gonna open this case. To open this case, we just go right up top here, give this handle a twist, and then, oh my gosh, it takes a lot of force to get this thing up. Boom, we have revealed the internals of the Mac Pro. And of course, I have it facing the wrong way. As I said, this is the base model. Now, if you're looking at the Pegasus J2i, you might also see the Pegasus R4i, I think it's called. And what that would be is an MPX module that would go across here in one of the PCI Express slots here, across the bottom of the computer. That is a 4-bay drive, so it's 4 8 terabyte drives. It gives you a lot more storage. I personally don't think it makes a lot of sense because it's going to take up a ton of space in here, and I think like at that point externals would make a lot more space, or a server. There's basically a lot more ways that would make more sense to me than just filling up your whole amazingly fast computer with just hard drives. A big question would be, why buy this instead of using an external hard drive? The short answer is there's not a right or wrong answer. But I find that this makes a little more sense to me because I'm going to have my backup, iTunes, and a few other things like that I kind of always want there all the time anyways. And like I said, I'm also going to put a 2.5-inch SSD in here, I hope. So we will see how that works. So to get this install going, we're going to remove these 2 screws up here, and that's going to be a T8 little driver. Should be pretty simple. The guide technically said a T8H, but T8 seems to be working just fine. So this whole device was designed with Apple. So the idea being that it's all like an integrated, it's kind of like if Apple came out with a hard drive bay. Now, if you're a PC user, you're probably like, why the heck didn't Apple just put a 3.5-inch SATA bay enclosure in there? And my answer would be, I have no idea. Everybody kind of wants NVMe, PCI Express storage and stuff like that. There's a lot of great options for upgrading this. This is one of many. For me, I went with this route because it's going to take up not a lot of space. It's not taking up any of my PCI Express lanes and all that stuff that I'm probably going to use for graphics cards and things like that, and then NVMe storage. And it'll give me a lot of storage for projects and things like that right inside the computer. So as I travel with the machine and do jobs, I have a big backup space already built right in. So as I said before, this cable, we're going to put these 3 smaller ends into the motherboard, and they are going to go right here. And these, you have 2 SATA ports and then your power port right there. It feels like the power cord should go the other way, but it shouldn't. But then it definitely looks like the SATA should go upside down. I don't know who put this together, but this cable kind of feels like garbage. All right, so we have our cable in. Again, feels a little crappy. This is right above your I/O board if you're trying to locate things. So the way this is gonna go in is this, obviously this tab is going to go like where this was. So this is gonna go at the top, and you have these grooves in the top here. There you go, you guys can see them a little better. So these grooves in the top, and these grooves are gonna follow these posts right here up in the top of the case. So you just wanna slide those in, and then once it's in there, it just slips to the right. So now these 2 tabs on the inside of this piece are going to fit in these 2 holes on the Pegasus, and the other 2 will still maintain their stock locations. So I'm just replacing these 2 T8s. So now that we have the enclosure in there, you can actually tuck one of these out of the way if you would like to. So they can clip into this. I have like a cord keeper. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to work. But the other one, which I'm going to use number 2, will clip right onto this bottom drive. So that should just clip into place in one way. These are numbered, the slots, the SATA spots, and then the cable, if you're really particular about things. So now we have this installed. We have our drive in there. If you were to add a second hard drive, which you can do, you can buy any off-the-shelf 3.5-inch hard disk drive, and these just come out with a thumb screw on the back, and then a Phillips head to put them back in. You can put them right up here. Again, I am in a later video when I have the money. I'm going to buy a 2.5-inch SSD and hope to test and find out if you can put a 2.5-inch SSD up in this first slot. I have absolutely no reason why you can't, but I haven't found anybody do it yet. Now you might ask, well, why is nobody doing that? Well, the main reason is that this is using SATA. While if you were to go with a PCI Express storage solution, it's gonna be much, much faster. Up here, you're gonna be in the, I don't know, 500 to 600 megabytes a second, or megabits, megabytes, one of the two. Up here, we're using a solid state, while down here, you should be able to get double, triple, or quadruple that depending on what solution you go with. It's going to be exponentially faster down here than it would be up here. That's going to be the main reason. The other reason is you're buying this piece for $400 and then you're buying the drive. It might not be the most cost effective. My workflow, what I do professionally, I'm going to end up with both. So I'm hoping that I can use this for backups and things like that. And then have the 2.5-inch up here, have like a 2 or 4 terabyte, and kind of be able to keep like photos and stuff that don't really require that full mass speed on there. And then down here, I'm going to go with a PCI Express solution that will be for editing raw video, 6K, 8K, stuff like that. That will end up down here along with a further upgraded graphics card, which is another reason I like the idea of this to start out, because I can start here and then I can have more space for graphics cards and things as I build the machine. This machine's so upgradable, I just didn't want to like bottleneck myself down here with something I might have to take out later. This is totally out of the way, takes none of your PCI Express, and you have these SATA ports. And as far as hard disk drives go, there's really no reason not to use this. If you want internal hard disk drives, I mean, your hard disk is going to be more of a bottleneck on speed here than the SATA port is or anything like that. Now that we have everything installed, we can just slip our case. Oh my gosh. So now that we have that installed, that's really it. I mean, it's a pretty simple installation. At this point, you can boot it up and you're gonna have an 8 terabyte drive available to you. And like I said, I'm hoping to add more to this in the future, and hopefully that'll be in a later video. And as far as booting it up, it should be already formatted and everything. It's just gonna show up like another drive inside of your computer. That's gonna be the beauty of a computer like this 2019 Mac Pro, is the availability to add these components to it as your workflow and things change over time. And again, I'm sure there's PC users watching this right now like, yeah, or like PCs can do on anything you buy. So we are sadly a few years behind right now in the Mac world. But thanks for watching so much. If you aren't already, please subscribe. Almost nobody is subscribed that watches my videos, so please go subscribe. I want to get to that 1,000 subscriber count. That's my goal here this year. And if you want to, you can follow me over on Instagram. Search Brett Carlsen or Brett in real life, and I am over there sharing all my work as a professional photographer and filmmaker, out there shooting news and commercial assignments and all kinds of fun stuff. So thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. I'll never get the ending right.